Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Hodges Hot Wheels and Diecast. This here is one of a special one because we are going to be working on my absolute favorite car in the whole wide world, the Mad Max Interceptor, a 1973 Ford Falcon XB 351 car. As you can see, this one I've been sitting on my workbench for quite a while, and I have a ton of these. I bought a whole bunch of them. This one was one of those ones that I bought somewhere. It's part of the Johnny Lightning Black Bandit series, which it has a nice satin finish, which is perfect for what I'm going to be doing. We are going to be taking this Mad Max Interceptor and turning it into the variant of the Mad Max Interceptor from the second movie in the series, The Road Warrior. So this will be my chance to try myself at weathering, and we are going to be using the jeweler saw and styrene to make the tanks in the back, cut the trunk out, and we're going to go ahead and cut the front end off except for the one corner, just like it was when it ran into the back of the Landau in the very beginning chase. So without further ado, let's take apart my most favorite car in the world and get started. Stay tuned. Okay, let's see what we got in here. Okay, where's my West Virginia pry bar? I can't find it right now. We'll use this one. Alrighty. Now I took one of these apart already when we did the October car, but I can't quite remember everything that goes on here. Where's a good prying point? See, the nice thing about these Johnny Lightnings are so damn precise, they're hard to get apart because they have the fender wells all put into them. I can't remember where I got a bite on this thing to take it apart. See, there it is. Let's see, I think, here we go. Get the back one. Let's see, maybe just a little bit more on the front. Okay. I've already, as you can see, I've already robbed the wheels off of this for a future project that you will see, because these wagon wheels work great for the certain projects that I have. Missing the Zoomy, but I have another set that I took off the October car, which will work perfectly. So we'll just leave that over to the side right now. Put this up a little bit. Okay. Get the knife out here. Let's see, the interior comes out. Let's see, we'll have to take the back seats out. Man, that's such a cool ass car. Wish I had one. Yeah, it would be great, but I don't know if I'll ever have one. But you can always dream. Very expensive cars to own, even here in the States, even though there's quite a few here. And from what I gather, they're quite expensive in the homeland too. So here we are. There's the windshield, the windscreen, whatever you want to call it. Okay, let's see if we can pop this blower out of here. All you got to do is cut the tabs on the bottom, and it will go back in. Let's see here. There's the blower. This thing here has, so that's just about it got these headlights in here. They're coming out this time. They don't even look right. I mean, they're almost right. They're kind of the wrong tint. It's supposed to be kind of a yellowish tint, if I remember correctly. Okay, there's one. There's two. Yeah, watch me lose those. Okay, well, we aren't going to be using them anyways, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, see, we gotta, and it doesn't really matter if I scuff it up or anything, because I'm not even going to put this in the stripper. I'm just going to start sawing on it, and we'll just throw some satin black or flat black over what we cut, and we'll fabricate a whole nother front end. I gotta look at the pictures. I know one of these side corners broke off like right there and down and over, and then the other one was completely gone, I think. So I gotta look at the pictures again from the Road Warrior, and I got that Vallejo Bandejo stuff that you paint with, and paint, which I don't particularly care for using on my customs, but for weathering, I'm sure it'll be okay. So let me get my we're gonna have to drill 4 little holes, or at least, yeah, 1, 2, at least 2 little holes, and slice down, and then slice it off right there, and start with that. I don't want to cut the whole window pillar out, because I want to make sure I look at the pictures before I cut that out. So let's get the sawing. Okay, here we are back with our next step from our Ford Falcon XB Mad Max, actually the Road Warrior version, and I wanted to go and get the actual cutting done to the die cast first, which is obviously we take the back window or the back trunk off. I still have to cut the spoiler down and just put the 2 tiny spoiler pieces on either corner. Where it said Black Bandit on the front fender, I kind of just roughly sanded that off and threw some satin black over it, because this basically doesn't have to be pretty. And as you can see, I looked at pictures online, and after they got into the first chase with the Landau and the dune buggy, and Wes on the street bike, he hits the supercharger and runs into the back of the Landau and sends him flying through there into a rollover. Well, as you can see, I did the damage to the front with the Peter Arquette plate Futura front end gone now. I'm going to have to make a core support radiator and core support, and the under rigging, and some XC square headlights, which was on this car underneath all that, and that will look movie correct. And of course, then we have to make the 2 tanks in the back. I'm going to take some old window screen like I used to paint the 55 Chevy patterns a while back for that big gas or 55 Chevy build. I'm going to use that to make the little shelf in the back. Got the interior out, put the dog door, a lot of styrene work. And then when we get done that, I'm going to try my luck at washing or weathering and trying to replicate that brownish red Australian dirt on this car. And we also put the as you noticed in the real movie, they had a larger set of wheels on the back. I tried to find something close to what it was that's available today, and this is just some Hot Wheels touring car wheels, or whatever they call those things, and painted black. And I know they're not 100% correct, and it will bother the hell out of me, but that's as close as I can find. So stay tuned for the next step. See, I'm gonna have to start doing some styrene work, so stay tuned. Okay, and we're back with our Road Warrior Interceptor. I took some of this Vallejo light rust wash and desert dust wash and mixed those together to give me that reddish dusty look that the Road Warrior Interceptor had in that movie, and I just watched the whole thing. I mean, you can see it gave it a really cool effect. Like I say, I never was a big fan of Vallejo when I did my Steve McQueen car because I just didn't like the way it laid down. But for doing weathering, they are spectacular. I guess that makes me a Vallejo Bandejo. Oh well. Anyways, it's styrene time. The nice thing about doing these weathered cars, you can start wherever you want. It's brush painting, and you don't have any method to your madness. It can look dirty, dingy, and it's a whole lot easier to make a dirty, dingy car than it is to make a clean, shiny car. So I am going to start doing my styrene work. Got to make the tanks for the back. I got to make the little ends of the spoiler that were on this car. We got to remove this mirror. It's not supposed to have that mirror. Make the place where the little Australian Shepherd dog or Australian Shepherd sat. We got to build the front radiator headlights or XC headlights, and the little internal structure that was on this car. So stay tuned and let me turn that damn compressor off. Okay, and we're back with our Road Warrior Interceptor. We have gotten the mirror ground off. I have the front end made. I have it painted. I haven't weathered it or painted the headlights in, but you can see the headlights, the XC headlights, and the frame for the C-channel front bumper like he had in the movie. If I can get it to focus. Well, regardless, I got that much done. I haven't weathered it yet, and I tried to use some PVC or some styrene tubing that was hollow, but it didn't work out the way I wanted it to. See, this pin's about the same size as those tanks. I think if I cut this pencil up, it's solid, and I can mold it into those tanks and add on the little add-ons and stuff. Might be a little easier than trying to do something that's hollow. So stay tuned. Okay, here we are back with our Road Warrior Interceptor. And as you can see, I got the it was like a screened shelf in the back of there, and I got the tire glued in there. Trust me, it all goes together as one good piece. Got the headlights painted, got the radiator on this half, and on this half we have dog's seat. We have our tanks, which I made out of pencils. We have some styrene jerry cans on either side, which will get painted a dark green, and the rest will just get blacked. And then we will do a wash over the whole thing. And we got our front bumper on here. The front, well, it's the inside skeleton of the skeleton of the front bumper of the Fairmont nose. And do some painting on it and some washing, and that shoe will look hopefully just like the real thing. So really excited about this one. It's so easy to do. So easy to make something look dingy. Unbelievable. Just brush painting. Would have never guessed. Alrighty, stay tuned. Okay, and we are back with our green light 73 Ford Falcon XB GT, otherwise known as the Mad Max Interceptor. And I didn't do the little bits and pieces thing because basically all I did was do some weathering on this thing, and it's And like I say, it turned out great. It was probably one of the easiest builds I've ever done. And without further ado, let's look at it. Here you go. My most favorite car in the whole wide world. The Road Warrior version of the Mad Max Interceptor. And I tried to get it as close as I could in 1/64 scale. As you can see, we have the tanks in the back. We have the jerry cans that were green beside it, the spare tire, and it does have the rack tray in there. And if you look right here, those little green and red cans are the good old-fashioned, the cuisine itself, Dinky Dee meat and vegetables, dog food that they were so lucky to be eating off of. And here's another box, cardboard box full of more great morsels of dog food that him and the gyro captain enjoyed so much. I threw a lot of semi-gloss black on this one. Of course, it was a Black Bandit edition, so it worked out perfectly. And we just started cutting, as you saw in the video. And larger tires, I tried to get something really close that emulates, represents the larger rims that were on the back and the style they were. And so let's put the dog jump seat in there, and we cut the front end out and left this little corner here just like it was in the movie after it ran into the back of the Landau as he hit the supercharger. So I hope you've enjoyed this. This has been a really fun build. It's been so simple. I didn't have to make anything really perfect. If I scratched I never even stripped it. This is the paint that was on it, and where I ground stuff off, I just threw some more semi-gloss black over it, and then the wash covered up over that. And like I say, the tanks are pieces of number 2 pencil that I stole from my daughter's school stuff. And you know, there you have it in all her glory. So hopefully this will give me the title as the proper Mad Max build guy. So hope you enjoyed this as much as I do. So, and to all my friends in Australia, this one's for you guys. Have a nice weekend.